What's good, everybody? Corbino here, and we got ourselves an X-Men Gold, the Till Death Do Us Part wedding special. I don't know, what's it? Till Death Do Us Part? Yeah, okay, well, we're doing a review for that. The title will be much more concise than what I was just doing there. And this is a, what is this, 5 parts? 5 parts plus a annual special type thing. So 6 parts, issue going across the X-Men Gold stories, building up to Kitty Pryde and Peter Rasputin, or Pietro, or Katja, whatever, you know, or the superhero names, Shadowcat and Colossus, whatever you want to call them, their wedding. And now, Colossus is definitely one of my favorite X-Men. And I'm realizing I only have one thing of Colossus merch in here that I know of, besides HeroClix. And I have 0 Shadowcat merch, and she's my favorite female X-Men. Or favorite, well, I guess no, Scarlet Witch is my favorite female mutant, but she's my favorite female X-Men. And I realized I don't have any merch for them, and it kind of makes me mad. I definitely got Nightcrawler stuff, and he's my boy. But Colossus is definitely top 5 male X-Men, so I was kind of disappointed that I didn't have any merch of him, but I just had some of the characters that were, you know, in this story there. Anyways, I've been following X-Men Gold for a good while now, really enjoying all the stories and the characters in this series. And so, Colossus, or no, Kitty Pryde, a few issues before X-Men, this whole X-Men Gold thing, proposes to Colossus, and they're like, yeah, let's get to it. And, you know, they've been apart before when Colossus had another woman, and then she died, and then there was the point where Kitty was in a giant-ass bullet type thing. Now, I don't even remember that, but I haven't read all the X-Men comics, so I don't know. But they have been apart, and, you know, characters die, like Colossus at one point, and so much, and then she was on the Guardians at one point, and she was a Star-Lord, so there's so many, you know, variables, but they always find their way back to each other, and they're one of my favorite couples in this series, so I really like that. And that's what, I believe in the X-Men movies, they had, like, Iceman cheat on Rogue with Shadowcat, and I was like, no, she's with Peter. And then they, like, have her with Peter at the end of Days of Future Past, so that's kind of cool. But besides all that, that's not even important. Yeah, I love their love for each other. I've always rooted for these two to be together, and it's been great. Professor X, Storm, Colossus, and was it Wolverine, I believe, were the ones that originally went to Kitty's house to recruit her, and they took her out for ice cream and all that stuff, and, you know, stuff went down, so then her parents weren't really having it, but then they were. Read the X-Men comics if you want to know more about what I'm saying. Anyways, they've been together for freaking years, like the 70s or 80s or something like that. Like, they've known each other for that long. And on and off, all this different tension, relationship. And I've loved every second of it. And so seeing them finally getting married officially and doing this was awesome. And I believe they were on my top 10 comic couple list, too. That was awesome to see this happening. And you see the bachelorette party, you see the bachelor party go on in these issues, and then in the wedding special there's like little mini tales showing how they like met and the relationship grew and whatnot, and what their initial thoughts of each other were. And it's great to see all their friends supporting them, and the ups and downs, and they get attacked by different villains and everything throughout this, but no matter what, and Colossus gets kidnapped and he's gonna die, she's gotta save him, all sorts of crazy stuff is going down. But yeah, the 5 issues building up to this finale have been great, showing different views of everything going on and what it takes to get to the wedding day. Now the finale to the series was a little bit bigger, and oh my god, it was an emotional issue there for me. I don't know why they had to play me like that. It's got them, you know, talk about, get ready, everyone's hanging out, the rehearsal dinner or whatever. Peter's sister, Magic, tells Kitty that she's not sure if they should be together, and that gets into Kitty's head, and everyone's having a good time. It's a whole bunch of things, but everybody's there. And then the present Beast and Iceman and past Beast and Iceman are like, hey, we should start Fantastic Four, ha, because there's 4 of us. And, you know, they got the old X-Men there, and you got 2 Jean Greys, and then freaking you got 2 Jean Greys and Rachel there, so I mean, you got all sorts of mutants, everybody's there, it's awesome. Well, the cover, it's cool because, on the cover it's cool because you see all these different friends of theirs, and you even see Star-Lord there, and he's like tearing up, and Gamora's looking at him all mad. But I didn't even see them in that issue, so I don't think they were actually there. Or they could have been somewhere in the background. Anyways, everything was going great. You know, Kitty comes out, she looks beautiful. Colossus is like, oh my god, I can't even believe this. And Nightcrawler, she's like, do you have the rings? And he has to teleport away, get them, brings them back. That was kind of funny because, you know, you always hear about the breast man forgetting the rings. And, yep. So they're saying all their different stuff, repeating after each other. Kitty puts her ring onto Peter's hand, and when Peter goes to put it on Kitty's hand, she phases through him, and everyone there, all their friends and family are sitting there like, whoa, what just happened? And Peter's surprised, everyone's surprised, and Kitty's kind of surprised that she just did that. And I'm like, you better fix that on the next page, because it was a full page thing of her hand, or his hand phasing through hers or whatever. And I was like, you better fix this on the next page. She better go solid and take that ring. And nope, she said, I can't do this, I can't marry you, and phases into the ground and disappears. And then Peter says, Kurt, I wouldn't like to be here, and he teleports him away. And then everyone's having the would-be reception dinner type thing, and they're all talking about what went wrong. And Rogue's talking to Magic about how no one saw this coming, and Magic's like, I did this was my fault. And Kitty and Colossus are like, they're talking to each other, and they're talking about how much they love each other, and all these different variables, and how they always end up apart, but they come back together. And she's like, I just don't know what I want. And he's like, so where does that leave us? And she's like, I don't know. And so then we cut back, and Storm is talking to Gambit and Nightcrawler about this. And she's saying to them, it might be a blessing in disguise, you know. They've been through so much, da-da-da-da-da. And what she says speaks to Gambit, and he looks over to Rogue, and he gets up, and they're like, what are you doing? And he goes, and he proposes to Rogue. And I'm like, oh, okay, because, you know, they've had a thing forever, and, like, on and off, just like them. And so I'm down for that, of course. And Rogue says yes, and right as, they're, you know, she's saying yes, and he's proposing, Kitty and Peter come back, and they're like, hey, don't let this wedding go to waste. And so then they get married instead, and so that's really awesome. And now they got their own series coming out, which they've been very secretive about, so that's really cool. Called Mr. and Mrs. X is the new series. It's focusing on Rogue and Gambit, obviously. And the next issue of X-Men Gold is going to be talking, maybe it said Aftermath, I don't remember what it said. But it's obviously going to deal with the aftermath of her saying no and them not going through with the wedding. So, nervous about that because I really wanted them to get married. And this is a series that comes out every 2 weeks. I don't know if this came out every 2 weeks. Like, so either way, this is, you know, boom, jump 2 weeks, boom. So that's like this is 3 months of comic books, and then plus some more because of before the actual wedding story arc started, when they were just proposing and getting stuff prepared before that. So this is 3+ months of building up to, and they didn't even get married. So that pissed me off a little bit and ripped my heart out. But then they kind of made up for it with Rogue and Gambit getting married, which I'm down for. But still, I would have really enjoyed for Kitty and Colossus to get married. So that hurt me, and hopefully one day they will, or something will come of that. But yeah, that's it for this review. A very good read. X-Men Gold is always good, so this story arc was great, and the final issue was amazing. Definitely didn't see so much coming, and it was fantastic. And you should definitely be reading all of X-Men Gold, because it's a great story. It's great characters, great direction for the X-Men. So I recommend all of that. But yeah, that's it. And until next time, don't phase through your significant other on your wedding day.
Hi! Do you have a pupper?
Meow, meow.
If so, get Le Bullymake box.
Is that Bullymake books?
It's orange.
It's orange? It's box?
It's got dogs on it.
If you like dogs and you have dogs, you got Bullymake. Oh!
That's a phone.
That's them calling. Hello?
Phones can't use
Hey,
people.
Bullymake people. We're
But you know-
talking about you right now.
Tell them we're recording their
We're
ad.
recording an ad for you because your box is so cool.
Awesome!
Dogs love it. What was that? Promo code IG10?
Puppers love them.
They said to use promo code IG10 for stuff off. $10 off promo code IG10.